Hi everyone, my name is Kendra and welcome back to my channel. Today we're at 6MMA because we're filming this yoga class for Yoga for the Athlete. So it'll be a perfect class to supplement your hard training sessions. We'll work from the top of the head all the way down to the feet. So whenever you're ready, let's get started. Seated position. Let the hands rest gently on the knees and start to build your foundation. So grounding into the sit bones. Find a small lengthening in the spine, crown of the head moving up towards the ceiling. Soften those shoulders out and down away from the ears. Good, and then start to notice your breath. Taking a couple deep full breaths. Breathing from the bottom of the belly to the top of the chest. Exhale, slowly drop the chin down towards the chest, while maintaining length in the rest of the spine. Begin to move the chin from left to right. Pause at center. Inhale, roll the right ear towards the right shoulder. Exhale, release the chin back down towards the chest. Inhale, left ear towards left shoulder. Exhale, chin back down towards the chest. Inhale, right ear back towards the right shoulder. This time we'll pause here for a moment. Notice if it's really uncomfortable for you to sit cross-legged, and if it is, feel free to straighten the legs out in front of you, or maybe grab a pillow or a block and put it underneath the sit bones for some support. Feeling the left side of the neck begin to open. Keep breathing deeply. Take the left fingertips on the mat beside the body. Walk the left arm away from the torso and pause when you start to feel a stretch all the way from the left ear down to the left wrist. Place the left hand onto the left knee. Exhale, release the chin back down towards the chest. Inhale, left ear towards the left shoulder. Releasing the right fingertips on the mat beside the body. And slowly walk the right arm away from the body. Stopping right when you start to feel the stretch, this time on the right side of the neck, down to the right wrist. Place the right hand onto the right knee. Exhale, chin back down towards the chest. Inhale, bring the neck back to neutral. Good, and start to move the shoulders in a circular motion, going back and then forward. Start to find some mobility in the shoulders. Go the opposite way with the movement. Awesome. And take the arms out behind you. I'll turn this way so you can see my arms. So you take the arms out behind you, clasp the fingers, let the arms be straight, and then notice the shoulders. So lots of the time when we're training hard, especially for boxers, you're going to be hunched forward. So you want to start to open up the chest and the shoulders. So take the arms out behind you, shoulders drawing out and down. Inhale, begin to move the arms away from the low back. And then notice the belly here. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. Make sure that the low rib cage is drawing down. And your arms might only get this far away from the back, and that's okay. Pause right when you start to feel a stretch in the front of the chest and the shoulders. Exhale, bring the arms back down towards the low back. Release the fingers. Good. Find some small, slow circles in the shoulders once again. Good. Now take the legs out in front of you. And place the legs into a wide V position. Good, feeling both sit bones on the mat. Make sure that all 10 toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Place the hands out behind you, either grounding the fingertips or the palms on the floor. And then use the hands to find length in your spine. So this is really important to notice the pelvis here. Lots of the time when we're tight, the pelvis is going to tuck under. So you want to make sure that you're feeling yourself elongate in the spine and you roll forward on your pelvis, on the sit bones. And then once you can maintain that without your hands there, take the hands out in front of you. And if you can't maintain that, keep the hands out behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinging forward. Walk the hands forward. And here you can pause on the palms, or if it's available to you, you can come down onto the forearms. Making sure as you're folding forward that you keep the spine nice and long. So working the belly button forward and the top of the chest forward. Focus on taking 4 more deep, full breaths. Ground into your hands. Inhale, carry the torso back through center. Place the hands underneath the knees and help yourself bend the knees and bring the inner thighs towards one another. Ground the feet on the mat and take the hands back out behind you. Let the feet be slightly wider than hip width apart. Exhale, release the knees down towards the left. Inhale, carry the knees back through center. Exhale, release the knees towards the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, towards the left. Go back and forth a few times. Follow your breath. Ground the feet, and then come onto your hands and knees into your tabletop position. Knees are hip width apart. Make sure that the palms are stacked underneath the shoulders, the knees are stacked underneath the hips. Exhale, start to tuck the sit bones, rounding the spine, and move the chin down towards the chest. So we find our cat tilts. Inhale, let the sit bones rise, belly drops, chest and head lengthen forward. Exhale, tucking the sit bones, rounding your spine, chin tucks down towards the chest. Inhale, lengthen. So as we move through these movements, see if you can feel your entire spine moving. So notice where you feel restricted in the spine and notice where you feel open. Keep breathing as you move. Come back to a neutral spine. Tuck your toes, sit back onto your heels. So make sure that all 10 toes are tucked under, especially that baby toe. Sometimes it doesn't want to tuck. Good. Elongate the spine, crown of the head moving up towards the ceiling. Start to open up those feet. Taking a couple breaths here. Some people, it's really hard to sit like this. Other people could sit all day here. Really all depends. So if you're feeling a lot in this position, then definitely do it again because it's something that you'll have to work on. Exhale, come on to the hands and knees. Untuck your toes and take a moment to wiggle the toes. Circle the ankles. And release the tops of the feet back onto the mat. Step the right foot forward in between the hands. And make sure that the left knee is either stacked underneath the left hip or it's moving slightly back of the left hip. Now place both hands on the mat on the inside of the right foot. Heel toe the right foot all the way towards the right side of your mat. Roll on the outer edge of the right foot. The sole of the foot lifts off of the mat, opening up the knee towards the right. Grounding into the left hand, place the right hand on the inside of the right thigh, avoiding the knee, and opening up the chest towards the ceiling. Ground the right foot onto the mat. Bring the knee back through center, grounding the right hand back onto the floor. Heel toe the right foot towards the center of your mat. And then keep moving the right foot all the way towards the left side of your mat, releasing the right knee in between the hands. Good. Extending the left leg all the way back so it's released onto the floor. Ground into the hands, finding length in your spine. Notice the hips. So you want to make sure that the hips are square here. And if you're feeling like they're not, usually you have to slightly draw the right hip back as you slightly draw the left hip forward. The right heel is either placed in front of the pelvis, or if you want to go a little bit farther, it can be placed more towards the left side of your mat. Find what's comfortable for you. Breath. Grounding into the hands, tuck the toes of the left foot and lift the right leg from underneath you, releasing back onto your hands and knees. Step the left foot forward in between the hands. Good. Moving to the opposite side, place both hands on the mat on the inside of the left foot. Check in with that right knee. It's either directly underneath the right hip or it's slightly back. Heel toe the left foot towards the left. Rolling on the outer edge of the left foot, lifting the sole of the foot off of the mat, opening up the knee towards the left. Go ahead and ground into the right hand and place the left hand on the inside of the left thigh, avoiding the knee. Open up the chest towards the ceiling. So the gaze can look up towards the ceiling, or if you feel any tension in your neck while you do that, make sure to keep the gaze looking down towards the floor. As we hold here, check in with your breath. Keep breathing, deep and full. Ground the left sole of the foot onto the mat. Bring the knee back through center, grounding the left hand. Slowly and carefully heel toe the left foot towards center, and then all the way towards the right side of your mat this time. Releasing the left knee on the floor in between the hands, and straighten the right leg out behind you. Slightly drawing the left hip back as you draw the right hip forward. Crown of the head moving up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are soft. Exhale, sit down onto the left glute. And then swing your right leg all the way out in front of you, taking both legs out in front of you. And then come down onto your back. Give the knees a hug in towards the chest. Maybe you rock from side to side to give your low back a little massage. Exhale, you can release the legs all the way down onto the mat. Release the arms onto the mat. Palms turn to face the ceiling. If you feel any pressure in the low back while you're lying here, make sure that you bend the knees. You can either stay like that, or you can open up the feet as wide as your mat and then let the knees cave in so the inner thighs are touching. Find a comfortable position where you can let the eyes close. Letting the body breathe itself, let go of any control of the breath that you may have. Making sure that you take as much time here in Shavasana as you can to prepare yourself for another hard training day. Thanks for joining me, guys. See you in the next video.